Hello, in this lesson we're going to continue scripting our lamp that we created last lesson, and we're going to focus on being able to modify certain properties of the point light component it uses. So let's go ahead and open our BP standing lamp blueprint and go into our construction script. So the next thing we're going to do is actually adjust some things about the point light component. So if we actually go into our component section and click on point light, we can scroll down and see there's several different settings for this particular component. There's the intensity, light, color, attenuation, and a series of others. What we're going to be most interested in is the light color and the attenuation radius. So the attenuation radius is the first thing we're going to script, and this is basically a way to adjust how much the light is influencing the level, basically how much light is coming into the level from it, where that light is falling off from. So if we actually go into our Park tab here and click on our standing lamp, we can see there's this sphere being drawn, and this is something that only happens in the editor, not shown during gameplay. And this sphere here is the actual attenuation radius. This is how much light is being thrown into the scene. This is at the edge is where the light is actually fallen off to be pretty much at zero from this particular light source. So we want to be able to modify or adjust that for every single standing lamp blueprint we place in the level. So what we're going to do is, going back into our standing lamp, we're going to grab a reference to our point light. And from there, we're going to set its attenuation radius. And we can just actually search for ATT to get set attenuation radius. And we need to connect these together. Now we need to be able to modify this radius, so we need to make this a variable. So right-click on it and click Promote to Variable. Now that's a really nice, quick way to get a variable of the correct type already pre-made for you. In this case, it's a float value. Now we want to name this just light attenuation radius. And then we need to set a default value. So let's click compile. And let's set the default value to 400. And also we want to make this variable editable, meaning we can modify it inside the editor. And we'll set the tooltip as saying the point light attenuation radius. And then we're going to take this and set its category as light settings. That way it is grouped together with all the other variables we've used so far. So again, click compile and save. And now if we go into our Park tab, we can actually now see we have an light attenuation radius variable, and we can now drag this and adjust how much light is actually being thrown off. So we'll go ahead and set that back to its default of 400. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to be able to adjust the color of this light. Right now it's throwing off white light, but it'd be really cool if we could make it the same color as this lamp, and then be able to also adjust it to any other color we wanted to. So let's go back into our standing lamp blueprint. Let's grab another reference to our point light, and from there let's just search for color, and we can see that we have a component function rather than be called on our component called set light color. Go ahead and drag that here. Now having black as the color for a light doesn't really work that well. So let's right click on new light color on that pin and say promote to variable. And let's go ahead and call this just light color. And let's go ahead and set a default value for this. So click compile. And then we'll adjust the default value from black to, I have a hex color that we can type in. And that hex color is going to be FF, E as in Edward, the number 8, and then 4 zeros. That'll be a yellow color, pretty similar to the yellow of the lamp mesh material. So now that we have that set, we now click compile and save. And make sure that our point light variable is editable and it has a good tooltip, the color of the light. And again, we'll click compile and save and make sure its category is light settings. So again, compile and save, just a good habit to be into, always compile and save after changes. Now let's go back to our Park tab And now we can see that our light is yellow. Now the cool thing about this is we can actually adjust this to any color that we want. We can make a blue light, a purple light, a green light. That green color is pretty cool. So if we make a really green light, click OK, that looks cool, but our mesh is still bright yellow. And that doesn't really work. That kind of throws off the illusion here that we have this green light, but it's coming from a yellow lamp. So that is actually where we're going to wrap up the video right now. It's a little shorter than some of the other ones, but I don't want to run out of time getting into the next thing we need to do. So what we're going to need to do to actually be able to change this mesh is create a dynamic material instance of the material it's using and then modify the color of that material based on the color that we've set our light. So that'll be what we'll do in the next lesson.